And I'll take my first turn. And, okay, so I'll grab my guy here.
Let me guess, library? And
I'm going to the library, so I'll go 1, 2, 3. When you reach a tile that has a logo on it, a symbol of some sort, each of the symbols usually correspond to one of the decks of cards in play. Some of them do not. I'll explain those now as we go through them. So in this particular case, the Virtue logo is on this tile. By ending your turn on any particular tile, you activate that tile's symbol, and the effects go off. In the case of the Virtue, I get to draw a Virtue card. So in this case, I'm going to draw a Virtue, and my Virtue is Hospitality. The rule of Hospitality is I gain 1 Destiny token every key turn, so whenever this moves, it restores the Destiny token, and I can only have 1 Destiny token on this card. I may spend this Destiny token to aid another player, regardless of location, but I cannot spend this Destiny token on myself, hence Hospitality. Much like I explained these items earlier on, each of these logos or symbols do certain things. The ones that don't have cards to draw from do the following. These little arrows are sort of your directional ways out of the castle. There are a few arrows on the tile cards that allow you to jump back to certain points in the castle, mainly the docks. The stars have letters in the middle of them, C, L, A, and P, and those are your 4 attributes: courage, loyalty, prowess, and altruism. If your character ends the turn on that particular tile, every character in play gets a +1 die to their rolls when using that particular stat. Hammers, the golden hammers, they are the forges and other places like the barracks that can repair broken weapons. Broken weapons and armor will happen in combat, which we'll get to when we get to combat, but those are where you can repair from. If you take a wound token, one of the best ways to get rid of your wound token is to heal it at the pluses or the crosses, the golden crosses. Those are like your monasteries and your hospitals and things, to heal. That's it.
That should be it. Like, the only other one is the dungeons, where if you opt to end your turn and activate the dungeons, it spawns one of these random threat cards.
Yeah, this is the only one that you land on that will spawn. If you land on any of them out here, they don't spawn.
The other ones, like the random tiles here, will spawn them when they flip it up.
As they flip.
Okay. So the reason this is beneficial is because we can use it later on in order to generate more threats and chances to get quest tokens if we don't want to do more exploring.
Yeah.
Oh,
like if we're down to the wire and we need like 3 more of those.
We need 3 of these quest tokens to win the game per player. So there's 4 of us, so we'll need 12 of these to win. So you've got a movement of 4, and the Camelot and the world is your oyster. Wherever you'd like to go.
All right, and I have to follow the little symbols for the hallways.
Yes. I like to go right out into the world because there's a chance you'll get useful items. And while at the same time, you're revealing more of the world and potentially achieving goals.
All of the symbols that are on the castle tiles
4
are also available. Okay, now good. We'll stop at the drawbridge for a second. So in the process of exploring the tiles, you don't just move on to the space and then the tiles revealed. The term is called scouting.
All that means is that you get to flip up a tile without moving into it.
Yeah, you get to see.
And in order to keep flipping up more tiles, you have to move into the ones you've already scouted.
That's right.
Unless it's a dead end.
In which case you're allowed to flip.
Yeah. You're allowed to scout elsewhere. So you found Stonehenge.
So you can lay it out however you want. There's a road, a fork in the road here, and a simple road there. You have the option, because you're the one that flipped it, you'd have the option to lay it out however you'd like. Most strategically is, if you put it that way, we can't put any more tiles here, because in the actual game they're going to be raised chipboard, and there'd be no way to put the tile on there smoothly, so that's going to end that road's movement. But you could put it like this, and attach it to the hallway, and then you now can explore 2 directions out of the castle.
Whoa, I get to move. I also want to explore, so I'm going to move out of the castle with my 4 movement. I'll scout here.
Just go. There's a 3.
Hey, there's a 3, that's easy.
Lugben Blaze. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so we flipped a golden skull. That means a roaming threat has been triggered.
So I get to draw a Roman threat.
So Roman threat card. Take the top roaming threat, and it is
Lord Morholt. You don't like this one?
No, I was going to do that no matter what you read.
Oh, okay. Lord Morholt seeks revenge. Place Morholt in play on the Lioness tile. When the cards mention specific tiles, if they're not already in play, we get to search the deck like Thomas is doing, and put the tile on the board.
Do you reshuffle the deck after you search it?
Lord Morholt.
Yes. There you are.
No, my luck. Every time I do this, it's always...
Place 1d6 trader tokens in play on red tiles and hallways. We don't have any red tiles yet, so these are all going to end up on hallways. Hopefully I roll low. 5.
Okay, so
5 is low.
We're off to a great start.
In the grand scheme of things, 5 is fairly low.
So,
So here's how we're going to lay this one out. So there's a special tile that needs to be laid out at this point. So we picked out Leoness tile, Kingdom Leoness. Actually, it's good for you because you need
Yeah.
this tile, don't you?
Oh,
so
wow.
Leoness, it has a region on the back, and the region is mountains and forests, which means it can only be played in the northern region.
I know where I'm going.
And that means it can only be played on the tile here that's on one of these two roads like this. And so do you give a care as to where we're putting it? Because you get to lay it out because it's your threat.
yeah, put it right
This?
there, exactly like that.
Okay,
Perfect.
so Leoness is appeared beside Stonehenge. Because this was revealed with a threat, that skull doesn't activate
Until he's defeated, he's going to burn one of these cards every turn.
every key turn. Every time this moves, he burns one of those.
What are his stats?
So if we
His
don't take him out
stats
quick,
are Prowess 4, Loyalty 4,
Excellent.
and his traders have Prowess 3, Loyalty 3.
okay.
so I'm going to have to get 5 traders and drop those on the board.
1, 2, 3, 5. There you go. 5 turns
Perfect.
How
open.
many hallways do we have?
5, 6. So yeah,
Which
just
hallway
choose-
doesn't get a trader?
Well, this one does because I can move back into it and attack it.
Yep.
Where are you?
I'm over here. You can put 2 here. I'll take them out.
And 1 here.
Oh, one here.
Yep.
That still leaves us with 1 trader.
There's a hallway here or a hallway there.
If
I'll
you
put it here.
Yeah, because you can just run
So
through.
the placement
Absolutely.
of the
I'm
monsters,
running
or the
straight
placement
away.
of the enemy
Perfect.
tokens is always the person who drew the encounter.
Mhm.
But we cooperate, so we'll talk about, oh, I can fight that thing, or I can't fight those at all, so don't put them, with the exception of something like this, which dictates exactly where it has to go. So you may not be able to fight Sir Morholt, because he might have the stats that are against your weak stats, in which case
Prowess
you get.
and loyalty, I believe.
But luckily for you, Morholt's movement command is hold. So he doesn't move anywhere. He's sitting in that castle, and he's saying it's mine. He's just sitting there. His traders, on the other hand, have a movement command rating of aggressive.
Yes.
Now, aggressive means that on their turn they move 1 hex, but they move toward the nearest player.
Yes.
If they're equal distance between 2 players, we'll roll off, odd or even, and choose on our own to mitigate how we're going to make that happen. But the traders will always move at the movement of the key turn, and if any enemy token enters your tile, you immediately have to fight it. If you enter a tile with an enemy token on it, you immediately have to fight it.
Yep.
Which some of the traders' movements aren't going to matter because Thomas and I are going to kill some traders before they ever get a chance to move.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and move right into this trader's space.
Perfect. So now we are locked in combat.
That
So
was
thi-
your last
That was my last point of movement.
Yeah.
on your turn.
Yes.
Okay.
You can get into as many fights as you want and keep moving as long as you got movement left. So if that was his
Oh, okay.
first move and he beat the trader, he can then move.
Okay.
Okay.
In this case, this trader has a prowess of 3 and a loyalty of 3. Those are equal. My prowess and my loyalty are both 4, so no matter which stat I choose to use, I get to roll 4 dice.
Okay. So prowess to loyalty. So he can't use altruism because it doesn't state. Each of the creatures have 2 stats that you can fight them with. In this case, because altruism is not a choice, he can't use the altruism stat. Therefore, can't get your bonus.
Which is too bad because altruism is also my highest stat, so that would have been really nice.
Yeah.
In this case, I'm just going to roll my 4 dice and hope for the best.
And you don't have any pluses for your favorite enemies, so it's just straight up. Combat is locked. And I'll explain that in your roll.
Oh, wow,
easy.
that's a pretty
done.
good roll. Which, what he was going to say is that fighting goes on until one of us is dead.
Yep.
Okay.
There are a few cards. There are a few cards or abilities that allow you to sort of break or escape the combat, but they're basically duking it out until someone goes down.
Mm-hmm.
In this case,
Okay.
trader
so I
went
can't
down
see
right
the
away.
last, the brown die there.
It's a 5.
It's a
Yeah,
5, so
That's
5,
2
5,
5s and a
6.
6. That's
So that's
4
4
successes.
points, which beats its score of 3, which means I killed that trader.
Yeah. You need to at least match the enemy's score in successes in order to beat them.
Oh, okay. So because you automatically rolled that many successes, you
Yeah.
were good
he's
to go.
defeated the
I
trader.
defeated a trader.
He kind of walloped him.
I get a trader token.
Collecting
Oh,
the
you
tokens.
hold on to the tokens?
Yes.
Right.
If you have the colored tokens, if you have 8 of any of the tokens, and you drop them off in the dungeons, you get a quest token, which helps you win the game.
Oh, okay.
So as you're
that's
collecting
what
monsters-
the whole thing with the drawing to the dungeon and
And dropping
spawning
them off
more.
and stuff. Yeah, and or you can go and you can drop them off in the dungeon and you can get those tokens. You don't have to have 8. You can go drop 4 off. I can go drop 4 off, and as long as there's 8 in there, we get one of these.
Okay.
The other thing you can do is there are named creatures. So like Lord Morholt is a yellow named enemy token. If you defeat Lord Morholt, you have an option. You can keep him and put him as part of your 8, or you can basically exchange him by removing him from the game for the ability to draw Spoils of War deck or card from the deck.
So I'm going to do the amazing, incredible, fantastical thing of just moving over here and ending my turn. Your turn.
So now it's my second turn. I'm going to take the turn
Smart
first,
joke.
and then I'm going to pass it to you. So my first move is going to be to try and clean up some of these traders. So I'll move up 1.
Yeah, if you do well, you can clear out all of these guys.
I'll do the best I can. So 1, and I'll fight this guy. So they are subjected to prowess and loyalty.
Yes.
So
Prowess
my
and
prowess is
loyalty,
5. That's what I want to use. I don't have a bonus against traders. So I'll roll 5 dice for 5s and 6s. So interesting situation with my 3 1s. So I got 1 6. So that counts for 2 successes. I need 3. In this situation, I have 2 options because I failed the combat roll. I can choose to break one of my items because this item here says can be broken to prevent. So I can turn it.
To break it.
It's broken, so it's still on me, but it's broken. It's not usable, but I can repair it on the repair tiles later.
Yep.
Or replace it with other weapons and stuff that I can draw. If I choose to break an item, then I get to re-roll the entire dice. No successes carry over. I just get to roll over again, which is good if you have a nice high roll and you end up rolling 3 1s like I did.
The same thing happens if he takes a consequence.
Yes. So if I took a consequence for it, because right now I've got a consequence token. That I've lost so far, and it's going to deliver me a wound. I don't want to take this. I can take it, but that's one step closer to death. But because I don't want to take it, a way to avoid that is to break items. The other way is, because I only need 1 more success, this is where your destiny comes into play.
Yep.
So I'm going to spend a destiny token, discard it, to get a reroll on any one of my dice.
Yes.
Not only does the reroll count, not only does it give me a reroll, but it also gives me the chance to roll a 4, 5, or 6 instead of a 5 or 6. In the game, I'll get to choose an additional attribute, which that logo will then be used. So I'm going to reroll this. 4. I've defeated it. That adds to my success.
We couldn't have scripted this.
Yeah. And boom, I've now reached the 3 that I need to kill the traitor. So in cinematic purposes, I've been fighting the traitor. He's almost got me with his knife, and then I just used my Arthurian whatever story destiny to kill him. Yeah, we couldn't have scripted that either.
Well, if we had, it might have turned out better.
Yeah, it's true. What? Actor,
Might
actor.
Okay, so that was the first
First movement. Now I'm going to move again into this hallway and try and fight this traitor. Same thing. I'll use my prowess and I'll roll 5 dice, 5s and 6s. So I got 3 successes.
That's a dead traitor.
So I did traitor. So I got 2 of those guys now. Just cleaning up my own castle.
1 to go.
So 1, 2, 3 movements, and I can go 4th movement to end on this hallway and fight this traitor. Ooh, interesting. So I have 1 success. Now, it's not economically valuable for me to blow my destiny because unless I roll a 6, I'm not going to beat him anyway, so I want to save those.
I'd probably break armor if I was you.
Yeah, so I could choose break armor or sword. There's no difference at this stage in the game because they're starting weapons and armor. So
That's one nice thing about the starting gear is that he can expect to replace that soon anyway.
exactly. This is kind of like a bonus roll. So I'm going to roll all over again. Ooh.
Wow. That's
So- Where
was that
real
the first
success.
time?
I know, eh? 2, 4, 6.
That's,
6 successes, so not only is he dead, but his
very
ancestors are dead as well. Predecessors, whatever. Yeah.
He's just double plus dead.
He's double
Yeah.
plus. He's double plus dead. So I've killed 3 traitors. Unfortunately, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the end of my movement. There's nothing to activate on this tile. I have nothing more to do. So what happens now is I say go, and the key turn moves. Now that that moves, the following things happen. Any roaming threats with special powers go off. So in
So-
this case,
Mr. Mornholt. It says at the start of each key turn, discard the top virtue card from play.
What are we going to lose?
we are losing courage. +1 to any courage
Why
roll.
do we always lose courage?
I don't know.
and can
It's
instantly
a good
slay a
virtue.
witch.
I know.
So we lost courage. So that virtue is gone.
He's very
That's
scary.
a cool. The fun part is I get to kill this traitor now because it's going to move on to my space.
So yeah, the traitor's aggressive. It moves 1 hex to the closest player. And now
And-
before we do anything else, we'll do the combat.
Well, the despair track also moves.
Yeah, I was going to do it in phases, but yeah. Oh, nice.
Oh, there's
That's,
Skippy.
Two
That's
sixes.
another dead traitor.
That's it. Dead traitor. So all the traitors are dead, but the card isn't defeated until Morholt is dead. If Morholt died, the traitors would still make that card active. So we'd have to kill everything before that. And so I think very soon this is going to be a dead Moorhold.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Cameron wants him dead anyway. He's gunning for him.
So that's the end of the key turn movement. All the monsters have moved. All the special powers have gone off. Cameron has moved forward the Destiny up one, or sorry, the Despair up one. And it is now the beginning of the new key turn, and it's your turn.
Okay.